널 기다렸어.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Star League, StarCraft 2 Star League Season 2 at the Nexen Arena. We have done 6 games of 30 today to decide who will get out of Group A.
And the question is, Valdez, will you and I survive the group? Because
I mean, we have to, right? That's our job. You know,
Yeah.
we got to go all the way until the end.
right? It's going to be a long day. That's 1/5 of the matches. So tell your friends to get in here because, I want everyone out there to hashtag a live game and get people in here. I actually get tweets all the time when I'm like, hey, guys, in 5 hours or whatever, the show's going live. And they're like, oh, it's so late. I can never stay up. I'm like, now is your chance to actually be awake early and watch this. And you guys aren't here. Get in here. Tell everyone.
Well, let's take a look at our standings so far. Kira's played the most games at 4, so understandably he is up at the top. TY is 1-0, and so is Hush, so they have an opportunity to be 4-0 by the time, they've played as many games as Kira. So
yeah, I mean, this on the screen is basically worthless right now. We need more time to actually set this up. I think the most important thing is that both of Kira's wins are away wins, so he has that extra advantage. Think of it like if you're a Pro League fan, you watch Round Robin. Wins are the most important thing, just like Pro League, but then away wins are your indicator points. So if you have 3 wins and they have 3 wins and you have 2 away wins, you're ahead. But if they have 4 wins and all of them are away wins and you have 5 wins, you're still ahead. Doesn't matter that all 4 years were away wins. It's wins first.
You want to be winning here at the Star League, of course. We are going to jump into game number 7 now. It's going to be TY versus Hush.
Yeah, and it'll be his second game. He did take that first one off of Bomber. Now he's going into a TVP. We're seeing a lot of TVP tonight with Terrans and Protosses in here. Not as much Zerg play with only one Zerg in Sue.
TY doesn't wake up this early usually.
No.
He's kind of tired. He's like, I don't know. I'm used to these 6 p.m. broadcasts. Why do we got to do this so early? It's so that we don't stay here until 4 a.m., TY.
That's right. Well, Hush did take his win over Cure, and it puts him at a 1-0 score. And I gotta say, I don't think people are expecting Hush to do that well, but him beating Cure is already a good sign. I don't think he's going to have as easy of a time, however, versus TY, the GSL finalist, the runner-up of last season. Especially
because this isn't the map that he picked, which is interesting because it's the same map that he picked against Cure, which is Dust Towers. But TY is actually home on this map, which means that TY picked this map, but Hush actually picked this against a different Terran. So Hush may not be that uncomfortable on this map, and it's kind of interesting that TY picks this one up against Hush.
Yeah, I mean, he used Colossi, he played a totally different style. We'll see if he does that again here as we go into set number 7, TY versus Hush.
So here we are on Dust Towers again. Will be a recurring theme. This map will be played a lot. And up here in the top right, Terran player, one of the best, it is TY.
And down the bottom in blue, one of CJ's brightest, but not as successful as his teammates, it is Hush. Practice bon joie, as they put it. Uh-oh. Is it away cheese?
It's so funny because we've only seen one away cheese, but it's a thing, guys. It's coming. Don't you worry.
It's just a really aggressive scout, it looks like. And, I can't imagine what else this is really going to be for. It's just going to scout.
Just come in, poke a little bit. You get your Nexus up after your gateway. It's all good.
It does let him know if it's a fast eBay block coming too. The probe would run into the SCV unless it was hidden, so that's something else he gains from this. Although it's really tough to eBay block on this map because it's so far away. You really have to send that early, but I mean, Bomber already showed us something like this on Frozen Temple. It's not a bad choice. You can also pylon block the CC, which is something that we may see. Forcing TY to make it somewhere else. Doesn't even really necessarily have to pylon block it because it's got the probe here already. It's going to stick around here until the Marine comes out, then going to leave. The CC will be planted with no problems.
Yeah, he's just chilling here, making sure that it is a Marine, in fact. He's just going to back off, keeps his probe alive. CC goes down, and we're going to transition into a very normal game from here on out.
That's right. At least that's what we think. Hush showed us Colossi last time, and it worked really well for him versus Cure. We'll see if that happens here again now versus TY. So there's a high chance. Now, this is kind of funny, like you said, everyone picks maps blind. It's like blind pick, so you don't know. You don't know when you start. Like, oh, okay, well, he also picked this map versus Cure. You don't actually know that, so this actually works out really well for Hush, like you were saying.
Yeah.
It's like, he could get a win here if he's really comfortable with this map, and it still counts as an away win, even though this was his home map versus Cure. This eBay block is something that TY made popular. We've seen Maru do it before as well, but TY definitely started doing this. And if you get over here early enough, it's really effective. In this case, I mean, it's slightly effective. 2 probes already working on it, but he's going to get most of the money back. You don't need that surgence of minerals right now. I don't know why I said surgence. I mean, like, you don't need that 125 minerals right now or anything else, and you're going to get 3/4 of it back anyways. And a lot of lost mine time on those probes they'll never get back. So it's still positive, but sometimes that gets a lot more done.
Yep. Last second cancel there by TY. SUV will be hunted down, and our observer is actually pointing out that we had a tech lab on the factory, so it's going to be a tank coming out here first for TY.
Yep, he's very famous for this. He has a lot of practice with this kind of style, and people call him like the Terran of Light, the macro Terran. He's really like, if I could compare him to one player who was ever like once the most macro player, it was like Rain, who's actually now sitting commentating right behind us. Doing Star League.
He's commentating. That's crazy.
But Rain was like the player who would always play macro and always play safe in his Protoss matchups, and TY is very much like that, especially in TVP more than any other matchup. Quick Void Ray coming out here from Hush. He really wants to shut down the drops more than what happened to him last time after this Oracle comes out. He really struggled to deal with those drops versus Cure. That's where a lot of Cure's advantages in that game came. But this time he's going to have that defense set up very, very early.
Looks like the SUV scouted that Oracle coming across too. So let's see what kind of defense he can get in here. He's very, very ready for this Oracle. Got his Marines nicely spread out. Even going to commit to a Cyclone here. Not sure about that, if he really needs it. It's like hardcore shutting down the Oracle and any warp prisms that may come in a little bit later.
I think he wants to bait it. I think he wants him to think it's a third tank. I don't think Hush is going to fall for it, though. Wow, a second Void Ray. Oh my god, is it the Wolf build? Like, it's the
2 base all in with Void Rays.
It's the away cheese.
Oh man. It could be. There's a pylon over there on the right side. Drop down a gateway, an extra one, and just get a nice forward warping point that's very hidden. Void Rays are going to be very nice.
He catches this drop. Full of the tanks is going to kill the drop, and the tank getting very low as well. He needs to turn around.
What?
Gets it.
That's unbelievable. That's so much damage for Hush before this fight even starts.
You have to respect the Void Rays, Valdez.
Yeah, and look at the stim, too, by TY. It is so late. Hush could probably push across the map right now and just win the game.
This is like a blind counter build to TY's style almost. Look at this pylon. This is so funny. TY has no idea what's coming. He has no vision.
And funnily enough, Hush he's not overcommitting here. He's not going for the attack right away. He's just getting a third Nexus instead.
Look at all these pylons, by the way. Like, we already saw him do this in the match versus Cure, but people are basically deciding now that pylons are better than observers. It's like, oh, it only costs 100 minerals and no robo time. Now, in this case, it doesn't even have a robo, as the observer's highlighting to us right now. Scans down, he sees a Chrono on the Stargate, and he's like, okay, maybe Phoenixes, because he doesn't know his multiple Void Rays yet. He only saw the one that killed his tank. He doesn't have bunkers set up, and he's sending some Marines out on the map. He's not going to be happy with what he sees in just a second. Okay, he's already kept his units up at the top of the ramp. He's starting to figure it out. Bunker is on the way, on the high ground here, but not at the top of his secondary ramp where he may need it more.
Let's see how well TY can defend this here. He's not going to get this bunker up. Cyclone will not successfully kill the Adept. But here's the key time for Hush. Is he going to be able to break the ramp? Cyclone going to be very nice against the Void Rays.
He just needs to make sure that the Void Rays don't die to the Cyclone and he can pick off buildings, but I don't think this is an all-in. This is just a... I mean, like this is just a pressure play.
That's pressure.
As he takes the third base, like you were saying before, like he's not really committing. He's just kind of doing this to get further ahead and force TY into a defensive posture.
And I like that TY immediately identifies that and goes for a double drop. He's saying, okay, I don't need all my units back here. I need to just pull you back so I can get my third base as soon as possible. And Hush actually identifies that too with the tag, with the revelation of the Oracle. He actually sees the top of the ramps, notices that there's less units, and comes back to defend.
He knows there's a drop coming. Like, it's so obvious to him. And he's getting ready. The boost has worn off. The Void Rays catch these 2 drops. They are dead. There's no units here at the third base whatsoever, though. And he needs to pull back.
He missed it, and these probes are going to have to be pulled. He knew it was coming, but he wasn't there.
Oh, he's going to commit.
Defend.
He stims. And here we go. Void Rays is going to start to fight here. He pulls them back. 1 will go down, maybe 2. Commits to both, gets them both, and flies away. And this is why drops are so powerful on this map. And this is why Void Rays, were made by Hush early on. Yes, to harass, but also to deal with this. But now that they're both dead, he can't deal with this. He doesn't have Blink. So these drops are just going to be terrifying. He's like, wait, you only have probes here? What? Like, you even bring those back yet?
Ooh, this is a nice drop. He's pulled it from the third to the backdoor base over and over, and then he just puts
oh my god, he can't lose those Phoenixes.
Loses the Phoenixes, and now he loses a bunch of probes there, and in the main, too, taking a lot of damage. 11 probes go down.
He just can't, like, if he loses more of these Phoenixes, then he can't deal with the drops without Blink. He has to go around the horseshoe. Like, I'm just going to start calling it that, man. It's basically a horseshoe you have to go around with your ground army. And the distance between the third and the backdoor expansion is, like, minuscule for drops, but by ground, it's like... it feels like it takes a whole length of a game to get your Adepts back over. And he's, I guess he could try to use Shades to go back and forth. He's now getting ready for a big attack, but TY is set up already pretty defensively. He still has a tank left. He's got 3 Liberators, and he still has a bunker even at home, a turret. If he makes more bunkers, he's going to be fine against this, I'd say. He also has +1.
It's a lot of Adepts. It's 29. They are upgraded. But still, with the Widow Mines, he's got 6, 7 of them at the top of the ramp, 8 in total.
He has 4 Sentries and 4 Phoenixes for anti-air. And there are 5 Liberators now. There's no way he breaks this.
There's no way he's going to be able to deal with the Widow Mines in the first place. So he just backs off, says, okay, we can play a macro game on this map. I'm totally fine doing that. I did it before. But he didn't take the same direction that he did in the game against Cure. He went for heavy Adepts. No Blink, no Robotics facility or Bay. Or I think he does have the facility up at this point, but no Bay.
Oh my god, he needs to actually save this Nexus. He's on move command. That was really scary. Meanwhile, it looks like the Prism just flies into death. This is not as impressive of a game by Hush as it was in his match versus Cure. And 2-2 is coming up faster here for him. He does have a large army. Composition-wise, though, he doesn't have the same lead that he had before. He didn't have the tricky Colossi. He has a lot of Phoenixes as well, which are somewhat flimsy, I'd say, when the fight actually starts to happen. And he doesn't have, like, Colossi to back them up or anything. It's basically a pure Adept army with some Sentries and eventually Storm, which isn't ready yet.
Small drop coming into the main. This will be shut down by the Mothership Core herself, looks like. And the more important thing here is the push coming in. Going to set up those Liberation Zones now and get those Widow Mines burrowed here. Actually hallucinating a couple of these Archons, and it looks like Hush wants to commit.
He wants to. There's a lot of Widow Mines up here at the front. He splits this army a little bit. Now he's heading past the Liberation Zones. Oh, look at this, though. He's going to catch an Archon and just avoid these Adepts. So many of them are very low, and he's wanting to bait them back into the Liberation Zones. And look at this, a 60 army, or a 60 supply lead now for TY. I think this game is as good as over, man.
He got ran around the middle chunk there of the map, and he was forced into a base trade situation with a much worse army. And now he can't even kill TY at the top of this ramp. TY can easily go in, I feel, into this right here and just decimate this the front of Hush's base.
Yep, that Nexus is going to go down, and this army will die with it. GG. TY going to take his second win. And despite the interesting opening from Hush, this time it did not pay off.
That was an interesting start, a cool idea, especially against an opponent that you would feel unfavored against. Or not favored, I should say. And TY definitely the favorite opponent there. Goes up to 2-0. Has taken 1 away win. in those wins as well.
I think the key is he lost his Void Rays, and then he couldn't defend the drops, and then he lost tempo, and then TY was just like, well, I have too much stuff now. Then he couldn't attack because he didn't have enough anti-air to deal with Liberators. He also couldn't deal with Widow Mines, as you said. Then he went into an almost purely Adept army without enough anti-air to deal with Liberators. He tried to go around, but he got caught. Like you said, it was just like, it was nasty, man.
TY handled it really well, too. You know, he just, the second that